Hi there, it's Phil Smythe coming to you again from Japan, and this is my next in the series about the writings and teachings of Peter Drucker. This one I'm going to answer what seems like a pretty simple question. What is a business? Okay, right, I know. What you're thinking is kind of stupid. Everybody knows what a business is, and the answer is it's something, an organization that makes a profit. Right. Well, that's wrong. Of course, profit and profitability are both very important. Crucial, perhaps. But profit is the test of the business. It's not the goal of the business. And profitability is not the purpose either. And actually, chasing profitability is something that's going to limit your business. So let's get into it and let's talk about what a business actually is.
Main Street, the main business street of a town. Business. What is business anyway? Business is everything we see along this street.
The real purpose of any business is to create a customer. Sounds simple, right? But a business really has only two basic functions to accomplish this: marketing and innovation. So that's worth repeating. A business has two basic functions: marketing and innovation. So we need to look at what marketing is and what is innovation. Drucker's position was that these two terms have kind of been co-opted, misused and entered into our business lexicon improperly. So we need to learn about marketing. The thing is that marketing is different than selling, and I think a lot of people think that those two things are the same.
The house-to-house salesman symbolizes, in a way, the function of all salesmen.
Selling deals with our products and our market, whereas marketing starts out with the customer, his demographics, his realities, his needs, and his values. It doesn't ask, what do we want to sell? It asks, what does the customer want to buy? And it doesn't say, this is what our product and service does. It says, these are the satisfactions that the customer looks for, values, needs. See that subtle difference there? But actually, in some ways, selling and marketing are opposites. The goal of marketing is to make selling unnecessary. The aim of marketing is to know and understand the customer so well that the product or service just sells itself. Moving on to innovation. Again, slight misconception. A lot of people think that innovation is the same as invention. Invention is technology.
Experiment by Sussex Constabulary with equipment for transmitting messages, maps and photographs direct to patrol cars.
Innovation is thought. So it's not necessary for a business to grow bigger, but it is totally necessary for a business to grow better. And that's done through innovation. Innovation is also finding new uses for old products. And I love Drucker's example about selling refrigerators to the Eskimo. We used to have this joke about, he's such a good salesman that he could sell refrigerators to the Eskimos. But a real innovative salesman sells refrigerators to the Eskimos so that they can keep their food from freezing. See, a refrigerator could actually do both, right? So the most productive innovation is actually creating a different product, therefore creating new customers.
You've still got to stand up to some changes of style, like the Duo pen, a German invention which peddled off a new craze at a Minehead holiday camp.
The first question when we're defining these things, obviously, is who is the customer? And a good business has two types of customers. So if you're making something, like I've got this little bag that I put an SSD hard drive in for some reason, and your customers are not only the people buying this bag, but it's also the market that sells your product to the end customer. They're a customer of you as well, and you should treat them like that. And then the next question, I guess, is what does the customer buy? And it's all about comparison. And Drucker gives a great example of the Cadillac company. Back in the day, Cadillac company was having a very difficult time. This is probably almost 100 years ago now. It was having a difficult time. They were competing against the other car makers. And then they had this kind of new CEO came on board, and he looked at things differently. And he said, Cadillac doesn't compete with Ford or whatever. Cadillac competes with diamonds and mink coats because Cadillac buyers are not buying transportation, they're buying status. And that approach totally changed the Cadillac company and kept it going for a very long time until, that kind of innovation is what keeps the company going. Understanding who the customer is and what the customer wants to buy. So after you answer those two questions, you can move on to kind of a core question, and that is, what is our business? A business really is common vision, common understanding, unity of direction, and effort. And the only way you can get that is by knowing what is our business and what should our business be. Some people think it's so obvious that they don't really sit down and discuss this until the company hits a problem. And this kind of question needs to be asked right at the beginning. And you should keep asking these questions. What is our business? What should our business be? Even if the company is successful, because success creates new realities. You're a different company now than when you started. You might need to, as they say now, pivot, right? Even to attain new customers, to get better, to be more successful. So, management has to ask, where's the gap in the market? What customers' needs are not being satisfied by this market? And asking these questions and answering these questions successfully usually makes a difference between a growth company and a company that just happens to be getting bigger with the rising tide. They're in the right place and everybody moves up. But the problem with riding the tide is that the tide goes out. So you want to be forging your own path, your own direction. And then, like I said before, the real part of that question is actually the second half of that question. What should our business be? Businesses that don't ask this question really miss the big opportunity. They miss the changes in society, the economy, the market, because what should our business be has that concept of innovation built right into the question. It's the key question to ask and to answer. In my own businesses, we've started out in one direction, gone another direction, pivoted. A good business will pivot kind of with the customer, finding out what the customer really needs and what the customer really wants. And those businesses of mine that have done that have been the most successful. Finding out what the customer will pay for and won't pay for example. So I'm going to try and keep these videos short. This one's not so short, even though it's kind of only half a chapter in the Drucker book. So I'm going to move on to the next time. I'll go into this thing about if you answer these questions, how can you then build out the objectives of your company? And you might find all this stuff boring. I know some of you are not here for this kind of thing. But, this kind of stuff coming out of Drucker through me, these are the building blocks of a successful business. They really are. And if you can build your business on this, you're going to build a business that lasts the test of time. I have an internet business that's been going for 15 years, which in the internet is a very long time. And very profitable business. And, you have to be aware that I use these principles in that. This is my story. And, I'm doing this series because I have a strong belief in this. And I've seen that these concepts from Drucker really work. Anyway, join me next time. Go back and look at some other videos I've got if this isn't to your liking. And every Wednesday now I'm trying to do a book review. And we'll keep on this series going on Saturdays, and we'll see you very soon. Thanks again. I'm Phil Smythe. Subscribe down here, and we'll see you soon. I know I said that twice. Just subscribe, please. Thanks.